What's the one thing you don't talk about in your family? Back when I was 14, my dad and I were cleaning off his workbench. I found what I thought was a melted piece of metal wrapped up in a cloth. I asked him what it was, and he said something along the lines of, wow, I didn't think I still had that. He told me that one day, when I was over 18, he'd tell me what it really was. For 4 years, that thing consumed my thoughts. I'd sneak into the garage during family barbecues, Christmas morning, and random afternoons just to stare at that wrapped object in Dad's toolbox. The cloth was old and stained. Sometimes I'd pick it up, feeling its weight, trying to guess what could require an 18th birthday revelation. My friends thought I was crazy. Just unwrap it when he's not home, they'd say. But something about Dad's tone that day stopped me. I tried everything to get him to crack. Bribery, guilt trips, and bargaining. What if I get straight A's? What if something happens to you before I turn 18? Nothing worked. He'd just get that same distant look and say, when you're 18, son. The mystery drove me insane. I'd lie awake creating elaborate theories, each more dramatic than the last. Uncle Mike used to be Dad's business partner and best friend. Small construction company, always laughing at family gatherings. Mike was like a second father, teaching me football and sneaking me extra dessert when Mom wasn't looking. Then when I was 8, Mike just disappeared. No goodbye, no explanation. Well, I'd ask Mom would get this weird look and change the subject. Dad would mumble about Mike moving to Arizona. Our house changed after Mike left. Dad started locking the garage at night. He'd get jumpy whenever someone knocked on the door. Mom would find him staring out the kitchen window at 3 a.m. just watching the street. They thought I didn't notice, but kids pick up on everything. Years passed. No Christmas cards. No phone calls. Like he'd vanished. But sometimes I'd catch Dad staring at old photos of them together. The morning after my 18th birthday, I cornered him in the kitchen. Today's the day, Dad. He set down his coffee with shaking hands. You sure you want to know? Some things, once you know them, you can't unknown them. I nodded, heart pounding. He disappeared into the garage and came back with that familiar bundle. We sat at the kitchen table as he slowly began unwrapping it. His hands were trembling. This is about Mike, he said quietly. About why he disappeared. The cloth fell away, revealing something jagged and twisted. Mike and I were doing well with the business, but Mike started getting greedy. Skimming money from job sites, overcharging clients. I kept covering for him, thinking he'd straighten out. Dad's voice got quieter. One night Mike showed up here completely drunk, eyes wild. Your mama just put you to bed upstairs. He was demanding I sign over my half of the company. I stared at the twisted metal. I told him he was drunk and needed to leave. That's when he pulled this crowbar from his jacket. Said if I didn't sign, he'd make sure I couldn't run any business ever again. Dad picked up the mangled piece of metal. He swung on my head. I ducked, and it hit the kitchen counter. We fought. I managed to grab it from him, but he kept coming, his voice cracked. He was threatening to hurt you and your mother. So when he lunged at me, one more time I hit him with it. Just once, he went down hard. The room spun. Dad, I checked for a pulse. Nothing. Mike was gone. My hand was shaking. I called your Uncle Tommy at 3 a.m. He came over, no questions asked. There was a big commercial project starting that week. Dad looked directly at me. Mike became part of the foundation of the Best Buy on Miller Road. We told everyone he moved to Arizona. Now I understand why we never talk about Uncle Mike.